Okay, so we're just going to look at what the day has in store for us. Although it's midday here in Rwanda and the UK, but early morning in Canada. So we'll see what the market has in store. So as usual, we start off with the economic calendar. Let me just bring the calendar up. So looking at the economic calendar, again, as usual, I've set my economic calendar to GMT +2. So for those of you in Canada or North America, make sure you set your time zone to your own time zone. But the time zones I'll be quoting will be GMT +2. So today is Wednesday, the 7th of July. And the markets we're looking at are the Euro-US dollar and the dollar-Canadian dollar. So we're looking for reports of high importance that could affect this markets, and also note reports of medium importance that could affect this markets. But today, Wednesday, we've known this from Monday, from the beginning of the week, when we looked at the rest of the week, that we have a big report coming out today, which is the US FOMC minutes. That's due out at 8 p.m. GMT +2 time out of the United States. This US FOMC minutes is a report of extremely high importance that affects all markets. So all global stock markets are affected, commodities markets, the fixed income, and all currency pairs are affected by this report. And it's a highly anticipated report. So there's a high probability of the markets trending sideways prior to this report. The US FOMC minutes, it's the minutes of the meeting that was done by the US Federal Reserve in deciding the US interest rate report. So at the time the US announced the interest rate report, at the time they either maintained the rates or cut it or increased it. I think they maintained the interest rates. But at the time when they announced the interest rate report or the interest rates for the United States, no one knows what was the rationale behind their decision. So this is now the minutes of that meeting at which they decided the interest rate. So when the market sees the minutes of that meeting, it gives the markets an insight to what the US Federal Reserve governors were thinking, how they voted, what their thoughts were, which will obviously give the market a very good indication as to what's coming up next time during the interest rate decision. So it's a very important report. It gives the market a very good insight, and it's going to have an impact on the market. So as usual, if you want to find out more information about the report, you just click on the arrow on the economic report there. And of course, you can always Google the report itself. So that's the US FOMC. FOMC stands for Federal Open Market Committee minutes. And that's a report of huge importance, and that will affect all currency pairs. So there's a very high probability of the markets just trending sideways prior to this report. So I'm just going to avoid trading the Euro-US dollar, the dollar-Canadian dollar, and basically avoid trading the markets in general leading up prior to this report. Okay, so this is the big report for this week. So we're just going to leave the markets alone. There are no public holidays. We had the public holiday in the US on Monday. The Independence Day was on Monday. But there are no public holidays today. It's also good to check the global markets to see if there's anything that could cause uncertainty in the currency market, because obviously that's the one we're focused on. There are lots of things that could affect the stock market, but we're trading the currency market, and there's no global news that's causing uncertainty in the global markets. Okay, so we can go to the charts. So starting with the Euro-US dollar, I'll start with the daily time frame. You can see in the market, it's currently trending down. But from a swing trade point of view, I want to buy when the market breaks the moving average on the upside. So today, the moving average is 1.2065. So I've adjusted my pending buy order to 2 pips above that at 1.2067. And that's my pending order there with 100 pips stop loss. So that's the move, the swing trade. I will go to the day trade, 5-minute time frame. So at the moment, we can see the market is trending sideways between the pivot point and S1. But again, in view of the report coming out at 8 p.m. GMT plus 2, I'm not going to place any trades. And as you can see on my platform, I have no pending orders at all on any of the markets I trade. Same as with the dollar, Canadian dollar, that's currently trending sideways between R1 and the pivot point. From the swing trade point of view of the dollar, Canadian dollar, because the market is currently trending sideways along the moving average 100, I'm just watching to see what happens. Just going to watch and observe for now. So I'm not placing any pending orders, swing trade pending orders for now, the dollar, Canadian dollar. But for the day trading, I'm just going to wait till 8 p.m. before I trade this. And again, you can see it's trending sideways between R1 and the pivot point. Okay, so that's my plan for today. Any questions?